Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Shipton, local realtor here in the Gulf Coast of Florida, Pensacola, and its surrounding areas. Today is an exciting video. I love being out in the woods, and we're going to be diving into wetlands today here in the Gulf Coast of Florida and what to look for when buying land that could possibly have wetlands on it. Before we get started, make sure that you or your realtor has some type of protection out here in the woods. Me, myself, if I'm in the woods, I'm always going to bring one of these. And that is for my safety because you never know who or what is out there in those woods. So you want to be safe when walking out here in this land. And I also want to give a shout out to Andy. He is one of my clients that I helped purchase this 23-acre parcel, which he is working on clearing right now. So 17 acres of this is wetlands, and then you got another 6 acres, 17 acres is uplands, and then another 6 acres is going to be wetlands. So he has started clearing, as you can see, but we are, at the start of the lot right now, and I'm going to walk down towards the wetlands area here. So what are wetlands? So wetlands are areas where, water covers the soil, or it's present either at or near the surface of the soil all year, or just partial times of the year even. They're crucial for maintaining biodiversity, filtering water, and protecting against flooding. However, in the real estate world, wetlands are a nightmare because they are protected and they can't be built on. So you can go through a wetlands process to be able to build on it. It's called wetlands mitigation, and that can be very costly. So typically what you just want to do is avoid land that has wetlands on it, or buy land where it may have some wetlands, but you're not allowed to touch that. You have to use the other portion of the land to clear and to build on. So you can see here, this soil, it's darker in color, and it's a little bit moist, a little wet, it's damp, has nutrients in it. See how dark it is? So that means that is wetland soil. If you have darker, more nutrient-rich soil, then you're probably pretty close to some wetlands, or you are in wetlands. So something to keep an eye out for. And you can see behind me here, I do have water right there, and I'll show you some normal colored dirt here in just a moment. Here is an example of some drier soil here. So when it's lighter in color, so another great indicator that you're in a wetlands area is the vegetation. A lot of plants, they grow in wetlands area specifically. For example, the cypress trees. So I'm going to put one on the screen now so you can see what a cypress tree looks for. There is none on this acreage that I'm on right now. But yep, so that's what a cypress tree looks like. Usually it has a couple kneecap looking things going down around the trunk. Apparently that's for oxygen, so the tree can breathe when it's underwater. If it's above water, the cypress typically doesn't have that with the knees, but they are taller. They grow up to like 120 feet tall. I actually found a cypress tree, so let's take a look at it. That's what the needles look like. And you can see the bark on this tree. You can see how it's twisted like that. So that is a characteristic of a cypress tree. And you can see it has these plant tips on it. That's awesome. I didn't think I'd be able to find one. But yeah, so that's a cypress tree there. And that's why they didn't cut that one down when they were clearing this, because you're not actually supposed to cut a lot of those down. Another one here is the sawgrass. So if you see sawgrass here, I'll show you some now. If you see sawgrass, That's a good indicator that you are in a wetlands area. And you can see these long strains of grass right there. That all right there, that's sawgrass, all right? So that's another great indicator that you are on a wetlands land. And if you are considering purchasing that, I'd highly recommend, a wetlands evaluation to be done. Finally, there's plenty of plants that are wetlands. I could sit here all day and go over different plants, but I wanted to show you one more, and that is very common in this area, and that's a dwarf palmetto. So if we go over here, you can see these plants right here. That's a dwarf palmetto. So yeah, just different indicators of wetlands right there in your vegetation. Now, you may be confused and you might think something like this is you might think that that's a cypress, but that is not a cypress. That's actually just a pine. And you can actually tell that by looking at the bark, not twisted at all. The cypress twists. So wetlands, they have a lot of wildlife, alligators, frogs, and a variety of different water birds, turtles. Turtles are highly protected. So if you see like turtles or nest in the trees or something, it's a sign that you could have a wetlands area, especially if you're by water and you're gonna wanna do a wetland study for that area. Or just, don't spend that money, because that wetland study can be a little pricey. Don't spend that money and then go find another lot that doesn't have the presence of those things. So, as you can see me behind me here, that is wet. So it's water, and that's a great indicator that you're in a wetlands. Also, if there's no water and it's like a dried up creek or something, that's wetlands, because at some points of the year that does have water streaming through there. So that would be considered wetlands area. Wetlands are protected under state and federal regulations, which means there are restrictions on building and land development and even clearing in these areas. Knowing how to spot wetlands indicators like hydric soils, specific vegetation, and the presence of water, wildlife, all those can help you avoid, potential legal and financial issues. Thank you all so much for tuning into the channel. Please like the video, subscribe, and comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm, and it helps me get in front of more people that are interested in learning about real estate and everything real estate related. Y'all have a great week.